Hello, and welcome to another Shimwrecker review. Today we're going to be looking at the Roto Grip Nuclear Cell, which is the latest ball to join their HP4 product line this past March. The Nuclear Cell follows a pretty familiar formula. The engine inside the ball is the nucleus core that first debuted with the Cell and Cell Pearl in the late 2000s. This core has a 2.52 RG, 0.056 differential, and 0.018 intermediate differential in 15 pounds, and has historically produced a pretty substantial downlane motion. It's wrapped in polished E-Trax P20 Pearl Reactive, which is an updated version of the cover stock used on the Halo Pearl and the Idol Pearl. The Nuke comes polished from the factory, but I've hit mine with a light 2000 grit pad by hand to knock the polish off and make it a little bit more controllable. More on that later. My Nuclear Cell and AstroPhysiX, which I'll be using for comparison here, are both laid out at 5x4x3 using the pin buffer layout system. The past few balls that I've covered have had some nuance, some details to get into with regards to how they react on lane. The Nuclear Cell, not really in that category at all. It basically says heck nuance and just goes bonkers down lane. It's easily the strongest and most dynamic shiny ball that I've ever thrown from either Storm or Roto Grip. The cover creates a decent amount of traction and reminds me a little bit of the Phase 3's cover, R3S Hybrid in that regard. And that monster core inside of it means that once it does see friction and start to hook, it's going to dig in and really hook a ton down lane. As mentioned, I'm comparing the Nuclear Cell to my AstroPhysiX for this video. The shapes feel somewhat similar between these two balls, which makes sense. They're both shiny asymmetrical pieces, have fairly responsive covers, and the exact same layout. You can see here though that the combination of the stronger cover stock and slight extra surface on the Nuclear Cell means it creates a lot more friction, a lot more traction, a lot more motion than the Astro, while also rolling a bit more forward through the pins as well. Even with identical surfaces though, there's still a big difference between these two balls. I've linked Luke Rosedal's comparison video in the description for a reference point for that. So now, talking about when I might use this ball, the short answer is I probably won't. With my higher rev rate, I simply don't need this much help from a ball to create friction and dynamic downlane motion at the same time. You can see me striking here in this test all over the lane. What you're not seeing is how I was able to have more pocket control without sacrificing much pin carry, throwing my Phase 2 or AstroPhysiX on this same lane. Lower rev rate bowlers in particular who want to have a ball that moves a ton down lane will get a lot of value out of this. And even for me, it's still a grin-inducing amount of downlane motion. It's a good illustration though. Not every ball is for every bowler. But if you want a ball that'll backhand a ton no matter what, look no further. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck and good bowling.